Tonight, the rabbit hole goes deep. With the Q board still under attack, we have brand new posts from Q. Hi, I'm Craig, and this is Just Informed Talk. I want to thank each and every one of my subscribers. You guys are incredible. You're what make this channel work. I am so grateful, blessed, and thankful to each and every one of you for your contributions, your input, your insight, your support, and all that. So if you haven't yet, come here to the big landing page, click the big red subscribe button, make sure you hit the bell for notifications. That way you can join, and you'll get notified as soon as this videos get posted, because as soon as information is made available to me, I make it available to you. Now, here we have in this latest of Q posts, we have a lot of different things to cover, and we'll kind of jump right into those. But let me just tell you guys something. There is major attacks going on right now across all platforms. I'm experiencing it myself. I'm having to work out all these different system problems that I've never had before. Obviously, I've been infected somehow, and I'm working through it. But like I said in my last video, they can't keep me down for that long, and I apologize for the delay again, but now I'm back up, and I got my video coming to you right now. Now, this isn't just me. This is anyone who's involved with the QAnon collective, anybody who's reporting on it, anybody who knows and is watching what's going on here. Something big is happening, and I think it has a lot to do with the fact that all the major platforms just got called out, and they're starting to panic. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is March Madness. So let's get right into the first Q post. Here we have foxnews.com/politics. It's a link that goes here, and you think that they're scared? Documents suggest possible coordination between CIA, FBI, Obama White House, and Democratic officials early in Trump-Russia probe. Why is this important? Well, when you look at the context of what's coming out in these emails and the text messages and all of that combined, it's starting to paint a pretty scary picture, if you will. And what's coming down the pike next is going to be really scary for those involved. And what that is the appointment of a second special counsel. Now, as Dr. Corsi has talked about with Alex Jones several times, they've discussed the fact that what's going to be happening next in this whole investigation, which I tend to concur with their assessment here. I don't agree with them 100% of the time, all the time, because nobody it really is always 100% right all the time. But their assessment is basically this, that once indictments are brought against Mueller, he'll have to step down, and Rosenstein, because they're complicit in the coordinated effort to perpetrate this Russia hoax against our duly elected president. And this article kind of just outlines the connection between the Lisa Page and Peter Strzok. And if you don't know who they are, you guys should go back and do a little Googling and just look at it. But long story short, they're the two FBI informants, or two FBI agents. One, I think Strzok was an agent. Lisa Page was a lawyer, but they both worked at the FBI. And they had a extramarital affair together. They have all these text messages that are just talking about crazy things like secret societies and basically taking out an insurance plan in case Trump gets elected. The fact that they're completely biased and partisan instead of being what the FBI is supposed to be, which is non-partisan, non-biased organization that prosecutes crimes. And the fact that they were in a coordinated effort with some of the highest level officials. Now it's starting to come out who those officials are. People like Comey, people like McCabe. McCabe being recommended for his removal from the Trump-Russia investigation due to a conflict of interest, being that his wife received several $100,000 in campaign donations from the Clinton machine. Now, Peter Strzok also using several choice phrases when describing his disdain for our president, and obviously showing a bias against him, and also Peter Strzok handling the interrogation and subsequent indictment of General Flynn, to which he had to plead guilty and take a felony charge for lying to the FBI which Q has pointed out on the Q board, will be pardoned within 30 days. So that's a breakdown of where he's going with that. Fascinating times that we live in, I would say. And Q writes here, he says, wonder who leaked this. Fire in the hole. Q. Well, I wonder who leaked it. I have a feeling his name is Q. And I think to all those doubters out there, the people who have been trying to set this movement back, you're basically you're running in place right now. You're not making any progress. All you're doing is pushing this movement forward faster the more you fight it. So you may as well just come on board, convert to the light, walk away from the dark side. I encourage you all to find God and to find a higher meaning than following these evil Luciferian pedophile globalist scumbag elites, because ultimately you only are going to find death and destruction wherever they go, whereas if you follow the light and God, you will find prosperity and well-being and happiness and fulfillment. So I'm just throwing that out there for all you guys out there who are watching this and monitoring. Just think about that for a second, and I hope you all figure that out for yourselves. But going into the next Q post, an AN0N post, seeing a lot of your leaks lately, friend. Good to have a friend leaker for once. So then Q posts in response to this, HRC, February 12th, 2009, very bad Q. What happened on February 9th? Or February 12th, I should say, 2009. Well, this happened. The Senate confirmed Leon Panetta as the CIA director. And I have a feeling this is what Q is referring to, as Panetta and the self-proclaimed convert to Islam, John Brennan, who had purported ties to the Muslim Brotherhood. They're two peas in a pod now, but this is his confirmation happened on that day. This is all around the time of the Iran deal, and it could very well be pointed to the Iran deal as well, and how it's purported and alleged that Hillary Clinton, even though she publicly said that they do not want to get nuclear weapons to Iran, that the whole deal was to get nuclear weapons to Iran. Okay? And this is all allegation at this point, but I think a lot of the facts have been basically leaked out to the internet, and you have to take them with a grain of salt because there's no validation yet. But if it walks like a duck, if it talks like a duck, if it acts like a duck, then it must be a duck, right? So that's how we're going to look at this for now. I'm not going to tell you to believe anything without doing your own due diligence and research, but these are the theories that are out there, and in order to examine them, we have to put them out there so that you guys can have full disclosure as far as what is going on. Now, looking back to the Q board, he points to this, and he says, very bad Q. Now, what is Leon Panetta known for? He's known for a lot of things, but being the director of the CIA, given that the clowns have been under such scrutiny by the Q boards for their illicit and improper actions that they have taken against the American people collectively, we can only suspect that there is a nexus between Panetta, Brennan, Comey, Obama White House, and the Trump hoax, and also many different other things such as Uranium One and Robert Mueller's connection to that, as well as Rod Rosenstein's connection to all of this. I think it's ultimately the cabal is being outed. So if you think about that, what does that mean? That means that we have an entire sect of our government that has been acting covertly in a secret type society where they control all of the political process without leaving any room for input from the voters and constituents of the government who should be running it through popular consensus in a republic form. So You see what happens? The more they attack, the sharper we get. That's what happens. Okay, so we're going to take a second and we're going to watch this video here, and it's of this lady who's just creeps me out the way she looks sometimes. But I'm not going to disparage her face or anything. She seems like a fine person, I'm sure, having not really watched any of her content because I don't watch conspiracy news. But we're going to talk about this interview with Leon Panetta that was put on shortly thereafter the Orlando shooting. And I think this is like kind of the nexus, the beginning of where you have the first attempts to censor the internet based on this perceived threat. Just as, after 9/11, we had to basically strip down to our underwear and, not bring a travel size mouthwash in our bag, or else we would be, not able to travel. And the same thing's happening here with what's going on. Now, it's come out that the FBI was working with Omar Mateen's father, and in some sense, they may or may not have been working with Omar Mateen himself. It's all alleged at this point, but the fact that they were working with his father has been confirmed as an FBI informant, and his father had made claims that he was connected to terrorist organizations. And this guy has also been featured at Hillary Clinton rallies. So, let that sink in for a second. But we're going to watch this clip real quick. So I'm going to kind of just cut it off short. I just want to give you an idea of where this was heading back then. This is from, I want to say, 2016. And so this all points to what we're talking about, though, about how Facebook and the beginning of where the censorship move came from was after they realized they had been defeated in the election, or they were gonna start losing this battle online, I guess I should say, considering the election wasn't until the November of that year. But this is when they were making that realization. This is when they knew they were trying to change it, and ultimately this is what ends up getting Facebook in the crosshairs, I think, because they decided to capitulate. Now, that's not to talk about their other activities of selling data to advertisers, but I think every single company on the internet does that. So I think they just put in extraordinary measures to save information and to track people with metadata harder and further than they ever had before. So we'll watch this.
Panetta was CIA Director and Secretary of Defense to President Obama and Chief of Staff to President Bill Clinton, and joins me now from California. Thank you very much. Very good to see you again, Mr. Secretary.
Nice to be with you, Andrea.
Well, you see one of your successors at CIA testifying about the threat of lone wolf attackers. In what we've seen in this horror in Orlando, it's only the latest example, San Bernardino, of course, another, of those who were inspired. ISIS is sending out directives now. Don't come to Syria. Don't come to Iraq. Do it in your own home base. It's more effective, and go after soft targets. How do we protect the homeland against that?
Well, as John Brennan pointed out, it's one of the biggest challenges we face. The effort to go after a lone wolf, a person who decides to self-radicalize because of inspiration, either from something on social media or something from something else that person has been exposed to, and be able to determine when that person becomes self-radicalized and takes steps to prevent it from happening, is the toughest challenge that the intelligence and law enforcement community faces. I think the key is obviously to try to get the American people as vigilant as possible about individuals in their community that indicate characteristics similar to what we saw in the individual in Orlando, that indicate that he has a tendency to talk about the possibility of attacks, seems to be an individual.
Yeah, so he goes on, but ultimately what he's getting at there is the fact that he believes that everybody should say something, but he ultimately goes on to say that there has to be change digitally, and that Facebook is definitely in that equation. and he will be one of the factors in changing Facebook later on through his actions with Mark Zuckerberg and what happens before this interview took place in the shooting, the policies they were setting up and enacting between 2009 and his tenure through the CIA directorship. But obviously, we see his connection to John Brennan is strong. He references him right there in the interview, and they're both working in conjunction. Now, another thing that you want to look at, this is a recent one from February 8th of last month. It says, former CIA chief Leon Panetta thinks Trump's decision to release the memo provokes a constitutional crisis. And this all goes back to this article here, where we see talking about how the Obama White House and Democrats officials early in, they were in together with the CIA and the FBI on the Trump-Russia probe early. Why does that matter? Well, it matters because and that was what the memo was basically revealing. And it matters because there's a case to be made against the Obama administration and other actors inside the major governments. And that's the big March Madness surprise, and it's happening right now before your eyes. So I always look back to this. These are the kind of things that make me really want to keep getting this channel up and out there to spread the word. But even Q points out here just yesterday, false flag distractions. We need to be on the lookout, guys. This is going to be a critical time here where we have to, stick together and watch our six and help each other out through this. Now, because I can tell you already, it's starting on the internet. There's a cyber war going on behind the scenes that is getting pretty hot as we go through it. But now the next post here is an AN0N posting this. He says, "Did you see Code Monkey's message?" Q responds, "Great Awakening." So the Great Awakening 8chan is dead. Q. So there's no more Great Awakening on 8chan. That's done. Now, what is that post referring to? Well, it's right here. I thought this meme was very funny, and I don't know why. I don't know. Anyway, memes are going to be important in this battle against evil. But this is the AN0N's post here where he says, "Did you see Code Monkey's message?" And here's Code Monkey's message, and I'll read it to you real quick. It says, "I did not change any settings. I did not lock you out. I can see from the logs that you have logged into the Great Awakening board owner account within the past 24 hours. The user who logged in matches the same hash as the previous hash, who has logged in many times before, which means your account is unlikely to be compromised. If you need a password reset, please make a throwaway email address and post it here using your trip code. Then I will email you the new password from admin@8chan.net. Okay, so that's the Code Monkey message, and it's in response to the Q post here, and it's kind of like a verification, but to which we move into the next one. Now Q is responding to himself here, and he says, "Great Awakening is dead. Check line 119 $4 hashtag $star open parenthesis. New board being routed. Thank you, Patriot." So, and Q's forwarding us that for a reason. That's kind of inside code talk. I think there's lines of code that need to be checked as far as intrusion goes, but it also could be referencing a new board and what it will look like. That could be a coded message about a few different things. Still trying to crack that. If you guys want to help out in the comments and let me know if you have any insight on that line, that'd be very helpful. So thank you in advance for that. New board's being created though, and we're going to see it pretty soon. Now, going into the next post. Mainstream media talking about red pill versus blue pill. Matrix reference? Coincidence? Q. Well, I think what he's referring to is this video we're going to watch here. Hold on one second. So here's a report from John Stossel. He's a contributor on Fox News occasionally, and he actually works here at this Reason TV. He's got a channel where he posts stuff. And you guys can come check this video out for yourself. Just put Stossel Red Pill into the board, but we'll watch the first minute of it, and it gets into how the red pill, blue pill phenomena that's happening on the internet. So here we go.
Have you taken the red pill? That means not taking the blue pill and waking up to the fact that what you've been told is often wrong.
You take the blue pill.
The phrase comes from the movie The Matrix.
Believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
That moment in The Matrix, Morpheus is offering him simply the truth.
Candace Owens says she took the red pill, and now her YouTube channel offers red pills to millions of others.
People don't care to watch CNN anymore. People are paying attention to YouTubers. Okay, my second video went trending worldwide with 80 million views.
80 million.
80 million.
It's obviously the media's fault.
In that video, she mocked the media for finding racism everywhere.
The persistence of racism in America.
The surge of hate, the online racism.
CNN was trying to sell to me, as a black person, that the KKK was alive and well. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, so you can go watch the rest of this video if you want. It's an easy search and find. But this is definitely exactly what Q, I think, is referring to here when he says the mainstream media is starting to pick this up. And if you watch how it's covered, it's very interesting to look at. But that's what's going on. And, you know, we are in this battle where, you know, you have to start red pilling everyone. And no matter what they do, they can try to silence us. I know that, you know, they can take out machinery, but all that doesn't matter because the message will always live on. You know, where we're at now, we're definitely on the precipice of a huge great awakening. And I think it's already started with people like you who are here watching this video. So I salute you, Patriots, for that. We're going to go on to the next one. An AN0N post. I am terrified to go to bed, but I have to. I have work tomorrow. What if I wake up and everyone has moved to a new board? How will I know? I've been on this train since CBTS. I can't lose communication now. And it says, in response, Q says, you are safe. They are terrified. Sleep well, Patriot. You elected us to keep you safe. We will not fail. Great awakening will change. Notification will be made. Where we go one, we go all. Q. So there you go. Nothing's going to change. Everything will stay the same. They can try to tear us down. They can try to destroy us, but we will continuously rise from the ashes like the phoenix. And we are the people acting for good. We are not the evil ones. So God's light will shine upon us, and he will protect us and bring us through. Now, here's a great post. It's the last one. Q posts this link. And obviously, the link was broken there. I hope they didn't pull it down. No. So this article, I'm going to scroll up to the top as I was reading through it. I'm not going to go through this because it's very long and it has to do with certain things that are basically the whole real collusion story. So the whole real collusion story centers around deep state actors, Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, and other high-ranking officials who used the government to their benefit and tried to create this false Russia hoax narrative in response to their own guilt for their own crimes. It's pretty interesting read. Everything here is pretty much seeming to me on the up and up, and it's a good read. So go check it out. You guys can find this at National Review. It was published March 13th, 2018. It's called The Real Collusion Story. So just go to National Review and search Real Collusion Story. It'll pop right up. And you guys can really go read through that because this definitely deserves a look. Now, that's it for the Q, but Q posts truth because this is the way that it went. So Q's he's getting us in. I know. So one thing that I thought was very interesting we talked about in the last episode is that there was a special emergency broadcast on InfoWars with Jerome Corsi and Alex Jones where they talk about how they know who Q is, amazingly enough, or unamazingly enough, I guess I should say, but that not only do they know who he is, but something very interesting has happened to a person who is a contributor to InfoWars named Ted Malik. He's a former globalist insider who dishes the dirt on what the globalists' next moves are, as he was a part of the Bilderberg groups and the Davoses and all of that. So he has been taken off. He was coming from Great Britain to America. He was taken off of a plane when he arrived in America by the FBI. He's been taken into detainment, and he's being interrogated as we speak. His cell phone's been taken from him, and he was able to make contact with Jerome Corsi, but no further contact has been established as of the emergency broadcast ending around 8 p.m. or around 9 p.m., I would say, Eastern time last night, or probably like 7:30 p.m. Eastern time last night. So there you go. That's kind of where we're at with that story. Still no updates there. And another thing I wanted to cover is something I picked up. You know, I always skim these people's boards, and this is just something that kind of stood out to me. You know, Eric Holder is the one who said we had to brainwash kids into gun control, and you can see how that's working out for them. Those children are, you know, kind of, they're just misguided. They seem like fine children. I don't want to, I'm not one of those people who wants to pick on kids. There's no point, and they have a lot of growing up to do, so they'll continue to develop their opinions as they grow older, but I'm going to reserve judgment for now until at least they're adults of an adult age. Now, here we go. This is what I wanted to pick up on. He has changed, and I don't know how recently he did this, but he put his poster, his cover photo there, I should say, as him standing, and I've been there before. That's the JFK Eternal Flame in Washington. So there's an eternal flame there that is represents the fire in JFK that would never go out because he was assassinated. Now, I'm not saying anything other than, you know, we talk about how Q points out that these people make these veiled threats through their social media, such as the Q post where Q breaks down a tweet from James Comey that would insinuate some veiled threats to possible veiled threats to Andrew McCabe. Now, this is like, to me, the epitome of a veiled threat if it were to be interpreted that way. I want to know what you guys think. I just had to point that out because it just kind of popped into my mind and I thought it was worth mentioning. So you guys definitely let me know what you think. But that's going to be it for tonight's episode. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. Again, thank you to each and every one of my subscribers. If you haven't yet, the easiest way you can contribute to this channel, if you want to help out and support Just Informed Talk and me and what I'm doing here, come here to the landing page and click the big red subscribe button, and make sure you click the bell for notifications too. That's the easiest way to support. It's a huge help to me, and I really appreciate it. So thank you in advance for doing that, if you will. And the second biggest way you can contribute to this channel, which is a super important part as well, is to go down and comment. So in case you're new to this, each one of my videos usually turns into a QAnon research board at the end. So the video is over, but it's not over because you go down in the comments and start reading through them. You can contribute, you can read through them, you can give me a theory that you think's correct. Tell me about, give me some comments on what I'm doing. If you think I'm right or I'm wrong, whatever it is, let me know. I want to hear it. And I do my best to read through all of them. The posts have been coming fast and furious today, so I'm still catching up on reading comments. But regardless, I will go through and read each and every one of those. So I thank you all for contributing in that manner. That's super helpful. And it's great. I mean, I learn stuff. You'll learn stuff. It's just a fantastic forum we have at the end of each of these videos. Now, after that, if you really want to help out, and I'm telling you right now, I'm going through issues with equipment and problems that I'm having just because I think, you know, the attack is here. The cyber attack has finally landed. Their counterattack to our beachhead that we formed is here. So I need all the help I can get. If you guys want to come here to patreon.com, that's patreon.com, you can search Just Informed Talk. It'll take you here to this landing page. You can click the red button and become a patron. You can donate anything will help. So I really appreciate whatever you can do. Come check out my rewards and my goal. We're getting there with my goal. I really appreciate every single one of you who has come and contributed so far. And I'm still asking for your help because I really need to get some things going here on my end. And I could use all the help I can get. So if you guys enjoy the content and you want me to keep being able to bring it to you, I'm going to need you to come here and help me out. So thank you to everybody who comes here and does that. You guys are really the best. And I want to thank each and every one of you who has contributed already. So yeah, come check out that. But I'm going to talk about something here at the end of the video that is, like I say, the most important thing. And what would that be? Well, that is seeking God in these troubling times that we live in. We have so much going on. The easiest thing to do would be to get angry, to get upset, to turn and say that, why has God forsaken me? Or why, and I don't even mean that in a dramatic term. I mean in general, where, we don't trust in God's ultimate plan. So the reason that I can go under things like, have attacks on my stuff here and have to persevere through it, is because I have strong faith. I don't let these things get me down. As a matter of fact, I let them strengthen my resolve to do better. Because ultimately, that is our entire goal as human beings, is to continually become stronger and better so that we can serve God in the way that He deserves to be served. Every time I see people who get discouraged, I do my best to encourage them to seek the Lord, to encourage them to draw near to their faith, to get their energy and their power from the most high power, which is the Lord. And remember that Jesus died on the sins for your cross, or died for your sins on the cross. And ultimately, that is what will set you free and it grants you eternal life. But the only prerequisite for you to receive that blessing is to open your heart to the Lord, to seek Him out every day, to work hard to honor Him and make Him the most important part of your life. Everything we do here is temporary, but the blessings from the Lord that He can give you can be eternal. And even though we all have to go through trials and tribulations and hardships and times of distress, times of struggle. I mean, look at what I'm going through here. They keep attacking and I'm fine. I'm still going. My faith in the Lord will not be rattled. And I hope that you guys keep that for yourselves too. Keep your faith in God. When we get into these turbulent times, when things happen that seem insurmountable, things happen that seem unfair, things happen that seem unjust, present your faith as the answer. Because no matter what, if you got God, you don't need anything else. So that's where I'm going to leave it. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this episode. I want to say thank you for watching. If you haven't yet, make sure you come here. Click the big red subscribe button. It really helps me out. You can click the bell for notifications if you want to get notified when these videos get posted. Thank you for coming here and joining me. Thanks to all my subscribers. I want to tell you guys, have a great night. We will be up with more posts. I told you. Who knows? More posts can come, and I'll get them up as soon as I get them. So for now, that's going to be it. Thanks for watching. I'm Craig. This is Just Informed Talk. God bless and Godspeed, Patriots.